This post is very special and important because we can transmute to 50% of our fear, will be more than half the path of ascension and internal balance. Sabemos that all our problems are of a spiritual nature, physical, mental, emotional originate fear. The planet Earth is ending its cycle of 26,000 years and through its own evolutionary process will soon be entering the fifth dimension. So we feel the acceleration of time, as if the days were passing quickly. We have this feeling because the fifth dimension is a very fast rate in terms of vibrations. Currently we can say that we are in fourth dimensions. Tenhamos consciousness when performing all cleaning exercises and fear transmutation we are not only increasing our frequency of light in your physical body as we are helping in an effective way the earth. The rise is to increase the frequency of the energy of all the denser fields, including the cells of the physical body so that no longer contain any leftover energy that reflects these lower planes. The frequency of lower energy, fear, anger, hatred, and other negative energies are not compatible with the fifth dimension. Because of that I emphasize the cleaning is very important for our ascent, for those who are vibrating with some energy of fear, anger, hatred or any other denser energy will have to go to the other very low frequency of planets and perform purification and transmutation and wait for another cycle of 26,000 years. Each of us resonates with an energy spectrum that you can move from fear to love. These energetic vibrations are part of the commitment of a soul, which is why you are aware and feel drawn to certain kinds of suffering. Some want to cure hunger, others to disease, others the helpless and incapable, others work to grant power to children. Whatever the energy they need to heal the world, are the same that you must heal internally, as they represent your karmic journey, the disconnection and the wounds of your soul. Unfortunately our cellular memory is impregnated with pain, sorrow, traumas, disappointments, illness, betrayal, anger, hatred, bitterness, and many other negative memories of all our past lives. Will not proceed with due energy cleaning return again until the transmutation is performed. But we will not have the planet Earth in the third dimension to reincarnate, the Earth is accelerating its frequency rapidly and soon will be in the fifth dimension. So be aware of what's incarnation is the most important of all of your life because it is the last incarnation will on planet Earth. No matter their religion, whether you believe it or not, the process no longer has back. Hence the urgency of a total change in relation to your life right now, because everyone who did not raise their vibrational and energetic frequencies in the fifth dimension level will have to return to other karmic planets and denser than the Earth. By the way, they are already waiting for the people who cannot raise and transmute their energy. I remind you that the karmic planets are much denser than the Earth and they will be living with all kinds of extremely negative and disruptive energy. In the universe there are only two emotions or energies, love and fear. You need to see beyond and through aggression and violence, realizing that the person who assaults or violent acts, in fact, live in fear. Fear is an indication of lack of love, lack of self-esteem, lack of permission for diving in the experience of God's love. Store fear in the emotional body and can easily tune into the fear of all beings on the planet. Often we see people crossing her arms over her stomach or slightly bend over that area, even when they are standing. This stance is an attempt at self-protection, because the region of the stomach or solar plexus is the center of the emotional body. That is where we unconsciously receive the emotional vibrations of others. Normally we extend the antennas of the emotional body to get in touch and exchange energy with the environment. We all know the feeling of nausea or upset stomach that comes when we are about to go meet an emotionally oppressive situation. These occasions the sympathetic nervous system records the fear that captures the solar plexus. We spend a lot of energy developing the ego, we are afraid to let go of self-identification habits. We try to protect ourselves covering and contracting the solar plexus. Unfortunately, constant contraction of this area weakens, leaving them very permeable to outside energies. We can clean the fibers of the emotional body emitting energy through the solar plexus, which also protects us from energies that we could receive. In doing so, we change the messages and send to the world about who we are and at the same time strengthen us with the higher vibrations used by radiation. Fear is the hidden killer. But when they cling to fear as lifestyle and radiate fear of life, they close the body and kill the life force. This creates stress, just with health and aging. Your thoughts create your reality. When fear runs through the individual's body, it causes the chemicals that accompany go out and fill that body. These substances activate a downward spiral and the idea of death. It is basically simple. People are addicted to the energy of fear and are waiting for something exciting and good to happen to them. The main impressions are from the television. This mind control machine that basically writes fear in you. Chronic fear will be the killer. He will attract to you those things you fear and are sure that will happen. The reason the TV news focus on deaths and accidents are to allow you to feel what another person is worse off than you. So, at least temporarily, you feel a little more protected because only today did not happen to you. We can compare the earth with a large mirror of what is transpiring within humans. The earth is now exhaling toxicity, as she endured for long. For many years the earth received toxic things, not only of radioactive waste and all other kinds of waste, but also the collective discharge of anger and human fear. Anger has to do with what they know in their hearts that they are being denied. Humans are energetic creatures and their emotions create a collective force that is radiated. The more enlightened we remain, the more difficult it will be for the negative entities like the dark settle on us. Because the vibrations are so light and quick or so high that negative vibrations are not able to fix them, and because the frequency is very dense compared to the light. Thus, there is no way to fouling, join or extend a rope in any of our vulnerable chakras. When we are out of our body, there is still a fear level of separation, because we are in it, and being who we really are, sparks from the source. There are many ways in which we remain outside the body, and the cause is fear and to feel limited, but the less limitations we have, the more we become unlimited. So when we enter the body at the time of our birth, we received shock, we were anxious and traumatized, as we become matter, and went down to the illusion of separation and judgment. We learned in the collective consciousness of separation and illusion that everything is out of us, God/source/spark, knowledge, creativity, love. Some of us/parts of us, are never fully in life, when fear, anxiety, survival, disease, codependency, and approval, preventing the strength of energy flow or fragments life. We do not want to be here at all. The world seems very cruel and hard for us, and then try and escape it. We often do this when we abuse our body, whether through substances, drugs, cigarettes, alcohol, food, worry, or by diseases, clinging to the disease, or through our actions, lust, overwork, by stirring all the time. Sometimes what is required of us is a lot of fighting, to allow social conditioning. We carefully pressure and other pressures through school, work, or family, not in estrasarmos, these parts of ourselves not present are in fear. They have observed as when we are in shock, pain, stress, or an accident. We hold our breath and so we keep the trauma, rather than breathe at the moment and breathe in life. When people start to meditate or when they are doing the spiritual exercises, they can feel calm, relaxed, beautiful and light, but when they finish their meditation and they feel they have to go back to the body, they collide. This means that they are not out of the body and so can never really heal and transform, while there is so much fear and denial. Fear is the greatest obstacle to spiritual growth, and is based on need. The limitation is a restrictive belief system. Ignorance exacerbates fear. Knowledge is power, not only the knowledge of the cosmic laws, but the knowledge of the self. Knowing what motivates them, know their defective key, enhance its ability to better predict their personal behavior when situations, family members present. For example, if you are worried about financial issues, you resonate and exchange with the energy shortages around the globe. This means that your emotional and mental energy resonates with the energy shortages of others. Another example, when there is an accident, assault or a situation of violence, is simply the energy of fear that drew that particular situation. To cure the prints stored within your genetic makeup, you not only release the spirit of their ancestors, but also release their own spirit, and release all future generations of suffering you have experienced. You end the cycle of all its lane hagam, observing that at the moment we are born and we enter into this reality, we as spirit, one of the most difficult and painful things in the universe, incarnate on planet Earth. Nowhere any other planet are so dense veils between the physical plane and higher planes. Upon entering the body, we knew we would have to erase all knowledge of who we really are. From there came the forgetfulness, and since then we have spent all our time reminding us of our origin. That link will involve us forever in love and peace. All working for the light is at the top of the line ahead of the rest of the population. The fact that we see ourselves as a multidimensional being who is going through a human experience, rather than a human who is living a spiritual experience, puts us in touch with the real power, with our unlimited creativity and potential. Ironically, however, the most powerful thing we did was have developed the ability to transform ourselves in humans. This is one of the most powerful acts ever carried out anywhere in any universe. The Earth is unique, both with regard to its density, both as regards the perception that the inhabitants must be separated spirit. Nowhere, and at no other planet, the densification of energy and the separation of the spirit were taken as far as the Earth. Finally, the spirit and personality designed a bright veil fear. They built the vibrations of fear within the cells of your body and so finally got the overall feeling of separation. Another misconception of the third dimension is the law of karma, which holds that an act of cruelty should be offset by another of the same type, is only a narrow interpretation of the karma of the third dimension. The truth is that an act of cruelty can be easily offset by various acts of a life of love or forgiveness by the victim of such cruelty. The real purpose of having adopted one in karma-based system was to create intensely emotional situations just to see how humanity's physical plane would be able to answer. Assassinate? Steal? Would fight because of fear? Or, on the contrary, would act out of love to help, to forgive and to recognize love in others? Humanity chose to believe that God/Source is out of himself by great fear and shock that got to reincarnate on Earth. And so began a problem for humanity seeking God out through religious services and worship the gods of the past. In fact, we are going through an experiment in which no other universe, on any planet in any universe has passed or will pass through our experience of suffering and pain. One, our choice, the Supreme Source had knowledge about SHASTA experience, however, it came to an end. However, we have to eliminate all trace of fear in the center of each cell of the physical body. Normally when we disincarnate, leave the cell fear behind. However, if we want to really get into the fifth dimension, we'll have to transmute them. With fear embedded in the memory cell, we'll not be able to go beyond the third dimension. We are reincarnating on Earth through consecutive cycles because we cannot eliminate it, so we are coming back continuously by law of attraction. As the rate of vibration of the planet and people are increasing, anyone vibrate at a frequency of fear begin to feel increasingly disturbed. And they end up attracting to you more accidents and misfortunes of every kind by low vibration, sooner or later. From 2012 that things started really. Cleaning is in force, as well as the separation of the wheat and the tares, which is nothing more than the separation of energy frequencies that are very active in this period. This is not deserving, but energy frequency. When turbulence and chaos increases, we must remain focused on our sacred heart, and we must remain disciplined and focused on your vision for the future via the wisdom of Sagrado Est. Heart is the way of a master of self. Pierre Comsamos to have aware of our fears. We are honest with ourselves, since fear prevents us from being here at 100%, we conscientizamos how we really feel about us, about our body and appearance, about our age, about death, family, work and money. All these fears and anxieties are just parts of our separation. To love them and accept them, we can transmute them and learn to experience the peace and joy of our Vita Saibamos, that even if we deny any aspect of our being that is within us will be intensified and laid out to show us the unconscious nature, shadow and repressed part. It is as if the last vestiges of dogmatic views of the third/fourth dimensions were surfacing to be transmuted. It's a fight to the death and for many, and it is based on fear. Not sure of fear. Fear of the unknown. Fear of change and of losing control. Unfortunately, those who have these beliefs will draw to you what mortlememo. Fear is what separates the mind of the spirit. People who push us to be afraid of things in life want to move away from the power of our inner connection so that they can get some kind of power over us. The love neutralizes fear. At the human level of consciousness, Love and fear are opposites. Fear expel love. The love drive out fear. We choose in which we want to concentrate our focus. We choose to give our energy to love or fear. One of the main obstacles that we must overcome is to rescue the power they give to others. Also, consciously releasing the energy everyone else put in our auric field or fixed in our solar plexus during the many past ages is a preliminary step to assert our sovereignty, which is necessary in order to make we once again a master of ourselves. We will see that the stressful situations in our lives gradually will be pleasant and harmonious, because there will be more nurturing energy of unfavorable future connections. We must consider, discern and claim it. That will be our expansion project. We are alert and aware at all times, so that our focus be sharp and clear. We develop a sense of confidence and security, gradually, a knowing that all is well and will remain so. With the new self-awareness, actively begin the step-by-step process of creating the new reality. Peace message and light for balance emotionally body Master Kutumi. Long live lightly. Liberate your own emotional disorder and the baggage of the past. As I said, it is essential to maintain the cleanliness of their own emotional body. Like the layers of an onion, there are many issues. Therefore, there is anger or pain being retained, to be released. It is important to regularly cleanse the emotional body. Do not let fear, resentments or judgments take root in your emotional body. Transmute, transmute, transmute and again. This is the key to surviving these times of transition. As I said, recognize it or transmute. Understand that everything is experience. Understand that are now finishing the experience of duality. The old karma is now complete. Any new karma that you create will be treated instantly. Yes, karma immediately, a final learning to treat others as you yourself would like to be treated. My friends, these simple steps have the power to help them intensively in all areas of your life. If you can follow these guidelines to give you now, they experience a soul-conscious awakening, faster and smoother. You will experience the first steps of Newfoundland. A higher vibration through the consciousness of the soul, the living soul Master Kuthumi. Conclusion and blog note. Advice on plumbing fear is that we are all here to also look at the dark because, in the darkness, we find both the light and the reason why the light is retornando. Vamos open ourselves to what we want not see to, but we will keep an open heart and trust that the pain and the fear that we may be experiencing needs to be explored so that it can be released after being processed on a memory level. We meet at a time when memories are floating to the surface, coming from deep recesses. These memories can bring emotional responses. Whatever we see, we need to be looked at. Transmutamos and accept it. Light team is invincible.